Hi, my name is Demi, and this is my channel, demzwordz. Thank you for joining me. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you feel this information resonates with you. I like to also put out a disclaimer. I am not a therapist. I am not a relationship coach. I don't have any expertise in this area besides being a 50-year-old woman, and I'm sharing my experiences of dating younger men. And, I hope that I will hear from older women who are dating younger men and younger men dating older women. So today's topic is going to be about going Dutch. So I actually have a very strong opinion about this, but I know plenty of people, and I know this doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with age, because I know that there are people who are, dating out there and they're the same age, and, they have to navigate the same topic, right? So I'll just put out a preface for myself. I actually tend to date men who are usually in their late 20s, early 30s. And like I said, I don't necessarily seek men at that age group. It's just I find them attractive. I may swipe, on them. And it's also been over the various years when I've dated, for whatever reason, I have dated people who are like 29 turning 30. It's just like a weird coincidence. And now it's like I am into astrology, so I learned that that's actually during their Saturn return, so that is kind of ironic. But yeah, so I actually do have a type, in the sense I am attracted to men who are goal driven. They have they're very ambitious. They have a lot of goals. Um, And so, like, I have one of my best friends. I have two best friends. So one is a lady, another one's a guy. And so my female best friend, she always, will chide me and say like, "Oh, you're like a gold digger, right?" And I tell her it's not about that. It's actually not really about them being, like I'm here trying to get their money. It's just that I find that ambition and that drive that they have, that their energy, I actually find that to be very sexy. So that's what I have noticed. Like, I just like men who are in that way. And so it's funny because I had dated someone. I turned 50 in June. And if, when I say dated, this is casual, right? But I was dating someone, and he is 25 and I'm 50. And so it was, he had mentioned to me, like, the first time we went out, he had paid, and then he had says, "Oh, I just wanted to say," basically he brought up this subject about, like, in the future, like, that we should go Dutch. And I was like, I was taken a little bit aback. I was like, like, "Oh, okay," and I was like, "Okay, I get it," I get he doesn't make a lot of money, and I guess I was a little bit more established than he was, and I was like, "Okay, it's not like I'm paying, but it was like for me a little bit of an experiment, because I've never done that. Like, I don't, like when someone says, "Oh, about going Dutch," I'm like, I'm not Dutch. I'm Puerto Rican. And then that's the other thing. I come from a very Latin machismo based culture, where the expectation is for the man to pay, to pay when we go out on dates, to pay for everything, really. So this was, that was a little bit of an adjustment for me. And I'm not saying that, okay, I would expect, like, if we were in a serious relationship, that I would expect the man to pay all the time. There was times when I was, like, more in a real relationship with someone, and and he would be like, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" or "What do you want to," whatever, and I would be like, "Oh, why don't we do barbecue?" And I go to the supermarket on my way from work, and I buy the food, and I'm not asking for him, "Oh, give me the money," or whatever, you know. Or there's times like, okay, let's say we want to go to the movies or something, and maybe I'll just prepay and buy the tickets or whatever the case is. Like things like that. Like if I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to be nitpicking, all the different things. But like for me, like from the very beginning of the relationship, I typically do expect the man to pay when we go out on a date. So I was a little bit taken aback by that. And and I do, and then we did have one particular time that we went to a store. He forgot his wallet, and but you have to remember it's not a big deal because you can pay with and your card on your phone now, right? You have your Apple card, you have your bank card on your wallet, and whatnot. So I remember we went to a store and I bought something, and then he had made a point, like at the cash register, to send me half the money, like, almost like making a declaration, And I was like, I don't know, I was mortified. And you know what? Maybe mortified is being dramatic, right? But I was embarrassed by it. And, when we left, he noticed right away, how I seemed upset over it. And then he was like, what? And I was just like, you didn't have to say that at the register, you know? Like, you didn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to send you half now or whatever. And I actually was more embarrassed because he said he was sending me half. Like, I think that if he had just said, oh, I'm sending you the money now, I probably would have been fine with it. But then it was like, I guess, making it known to this girl that we're going Dutch. And then I just realized that, so I had to process why I was so upset about this, and why I was embarrassed about it. And I don't think it was really even that I'm older and he's younger, right? Because I paid and someone could see at the register, okay, I'm older and he's a younger guy and I'm paying, and they might be thinking, oh, that's his sugar mama, whatever. And interestingly enough, that is why he wanted to make it known at the register that he was sending me the money, that I was not paying for him. So we were both upset with the awkwardness of this, right? Because it's almost like, and it's funny, for this cash register who we both don't know, and who cares what the hell she thinks, but we're having this, like this argument over this, and so, and I remember, because after that, we had went, and then this is the other thing, because the store we went to was a sex shop that he wanted to go to. I was like, we could just order online, Amazon. And so anyway, we leave there and we're going on our way to Trader Joe's. And, and then there was no issue there, right? Or whatever. And, when we get back to my place, we had to, because I was in the car, I was quiet. And he was like, say something. And I am the type of person that when I am processing something, I rather just like be quiet and get into my thoughts and like figure out, I guess I don't want to blow up, right? I don't want to blow up. I don't want to have an argument. I don't want to, I've learned at least from that, from, my 20s or whatever, that gets you nowhere. And then also I have to figure out like, why is it that this is bothering me so much, So when we finally got to my place, and, and then, we had a moment to talk about it. And we had a little 420 to help. And I remember we were like on my balcony, we're smoking, and, and I'm like saying, and I figured out like the right words I feel to communicate why this bothered me so much. And it bothered me is because I have never done that. I wasn't used to going 50-50, or and I felt almost like, in a way, like as a failure as a woman. Like I really did. And so that was the thing. And I said to him, I feel like almost like a failure as a woman, where I am going Dutch. So I find it extremely embarrassing. And it's like, I just don't want, it's fine if it's like between me and you, but I said, I just don't feel comfortable where we're out and I feel like I felt like you did not need to say anything in front of the cashier. We didn't have to like put our business out like that in front of the cashier and cash register, cashier, whatever. So anyway, that was, my thing, right? And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he explained to me, with him, his issue was that he just didn't want this cashier, who probably didn't even think like two thoughts about this transaction, I must say, about me paying, and didn't want to look like I was a sugar mama and he was kind of like my little toy thing, or whatever the case is. My boy toy. So anyway, I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot about myself. You know, I know that I cannot be with someone in that situation again. So that's the interesting part. And you can have your comments out there. All the young men out there, all of the older women, you could tell me, "Oh, you're being ridiculous," or you have to get over it. This is like 2023, and men and women pay blah 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 and whatever. But that's just how I feel, and I tried it. I tried it, and I enjoyed my time with him. I enjoyed my time with him. We had a lot of fun. And it was probably, that was the number one thing that sparked, like a little bit of drama between us. I mean, we had some other drama, and I guess I can do a video about the cons of dating a younger man. But yeah, that was a little bit of the drama that I had about going Dutch. And I just have to say, I'm not Dutch. I don't think that's something. It may not even be my age, that really is the part that's influencing me. I don't know if there are other older women out there that don't have a problem with this going Dutch. And I would love to hear from you. Love to hear from you. But I think it might just be more culturally for me. And, as a Latina woman, that I just feel culturally I have such a problem with it. And I know there's probably other Latina women out there who are like, "Oh, it's not a problem. I do it all the time," and blah 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 and whatever. Okay, like I said, I'm open to hearing what everyone else has to say, but we're all different, and I do need to put that out there. We're all different, and we all have the things, our boundaries, and the things that we can accept and we cannot accept. And so I do need at least a person, even though he's a younger than me, I need him to be a little bit more financially stable, that he can take me out on a date and pay. And that, and that has to be the dynamic for me when I'm dating a man. Just because I'm older, I still see him as the man in the relationship, as as a couple. And like I said, I am really more attracted to the alpha younger man. So I am not taking lead of the relationship. I know that there are some people say that with the older woman, younger man dynamic, that the older woman may take the lead of the relationship. That's not my dating experience, and that's not what I want. I don't want that whatsoever. I don't want to that doesn't appeal to me. So anyway, I would love to hear from everyone out there what you think. about this topic, about, going Dutch, or maybe even where the older woman is paying, primarily, for the younger man. I would love to hear from the younger men to hear how they feel about that, because, the guy that I dated, he did have a problem with it too. He was embarrassed about it. So how do you deal with that? It's like maybe you really genuinely have a mutual attraction, you like this person, you want to spend time with them, you want to do things with them, but financially you're in a point in your life that you just can't do it, and maybe she wants, because there was times I even thought, it's like, oh, I would love to go, like we can go on a weekend trip and do something like that, but then I was like, oh, well, then I would have to pay, and I probably, if we had continued dating, maybe I would have gotten over it and did it, and be like, okay, whatever, I'll pay for the hotel or whatever, and let's go. But it was more of a casual relationship, and we had set that tone early on. So like that, I knew that wasn't necessarily going to happen. But yeah, so like I said, I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. Bye.